Initially, it came out of curiosity that as part of a merger between the Department of Organization, where we're at now, and then the former DBP department, people they started just throwing out books, and we could just see that this pile of books would grow and grow and become ever bigger. And the library at CBS was asked to pick up some of the books. They didn't want them. People were asked to go and pick up whatever books they needed. Even students were invited to pick up the books, and still the pile would get ever bigger. So we realized that, okay, nobody actually wants these books. And then using the tentative title, Shelf of Discarded Knowledge, we thought, well, maybe we can figure out another way of putting these books to good use so they're not just discarded.
This one is actually one of the books we found, which was quite interesting because it's from 1915. So it's been here for quite a while. So you can really see those pages have been read quite a couple of times. So I think this is probably the oldest we found.
We just asked politely if we could take the remains and do something with it. So initially we just transported it here to our office and built like a Berlin Wall. And then trying to figure out what we wanted to do with it, and just came up with the idea that we wanted to make a daybed to repurpose the books.
You can tell from the back of all the books that many of them they haven't even been read, and some they are still wrapped. So we assume that those are the kind of books you receive from the big journals, because they hope that the professors will write a review of the book, and then you can see that they are not even unwrapped. So they are not put to any use whatsoever. And then of course you don't really see any of the classics. It's not a Foucault or Judith Butler classic that you find in these piles. You find those companions and readers and handbooks in this and that, diversity management or organization and strategy and so on. So of course you will probably have new editions, and that's maybe why they are discarded. So we have two Franz Bewoord's theses.
Okay.
It's kind of weird that you have all this energy, there's so much engagement, so much competence in books that apparently are just, now they're not usable to the people who throw them out. They're not worth anything.
On the other hand, I guess it's also the question of digitalizing books and journals also. So there are a couple of journals in there as well, and I guess nowadays most articles are probably read on the computer, on the screen, as well as our books. So somehow the knowledge still gets to people, or you still read the content but not the book, which is also interesting, because I agree there's something to reading a book, to having a physical copy in your hands and reading it and really engaging with that text and the author and the work that was put into it. On the other hand, like if you're traveling, it's super nice if you just have your Kindle reader and read on that, or your screen or whatever.
Why men don't listen and women can't read a map. Understand the difference between men and women. I was like, what? I mean, what's this? Who would have a book like this? Is it because they want to study it, or is it theory, or I mean, this is weird.
That's because I don't have a shelf. I'm still waiting for it. I have like a huge pile of books at home that I
Remember, I was once told by a journalist that while journalists they write for today, we as academics or as researchers we write for eternity. And then it's a little odd or paradoxical that we then have the books just sitting here, and now you're not able to open them anymore and read them then.
When do you expect it to be done?
Soon.
Soon-ish. Yeah. We'll send pictures when it's done. You'll know.
Yeah. It's not produced for eternity. It's produced for now.
So now the daybed is in your office, but who can use it?
Everyone.
Everyone's invited.
Yeah. We actually hope that people will pop by, and they already do, because we also have a coffee brewer, and it's much better coffee than what you get at the department otherwise. So people they already pop by to hang out.